Hey everyone, welcome to Steph and Key TV. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps our channel. Let me know what you thought of today's video in the comments below. Alright y'all, I know I'm super late, but work has been running me ragged, but alright Beverly Hills, let's get into it. Alright, so we pick up where we left off, Erica crying in the bathroom. Garcelle's on the verge of tears. I'm like, girl, do not let this woman make you cry. Oh, she's on the verge of tears. Garcelle's like, I would have never done that. I'm not trying to hurt her. Crystal's like, I know. Like, you had already left in a separate car when Erica told me that she didn't want to talk about it. So that's why I didn't bring it up. And she's like, I know if you had heard Erica, you wouldn't have brought it up either. And like, for some reason, people wanted Crystal to jump in and dive over Garcelle when she started talking to stop her from talking about it. I'm like, what do you want her to do? Like, she had already said it. She had said, Erica, if you don't mind me saying, and then said it. Like, what do you want Crystal to do? It's already out there. Like, they wanted Crystal to fight Erica. I'm like, shut up. Y'all just don't like Crystal. Just say that. You just don't like her. She went to bat for Garcelle the best she could. She's not trying to fight Erica. First of all, why didn't Sutton stick up for Garcelle? That's her BFF, right? So why didn't Sutton jump in and stop Erica from ripping Garcelle to shreds? Y'all just don't like Crystal, so leave her out of it. She stuck up for Garcelle the best that she could. This woman, Erica, has lost her mind. What do you want Crystal to do? Erica comes back out. She is sobbing. Everybody's coddling her, comforting her. Garcelle's just like, what the F happened? Sitting there. Everybody in their confessionals, of course, is like, this reaction doesn't make sense, but nobody will say anything. It's just a mess. These women are so scared of her. So Lisa Rinna is laying it on thick. She's rubbing Erica's back. It's okay. And then she's like, that was effed up. Garcelle's like, me, that's it. I'm leaving. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Garcelle did not call her out her name. She didn't pull some random hot horrible mess of a story out. You had told them this. Garcelle's like, I'm gone. She's leaving. She gets up to leave. Sutton didn't get up to stop her. Didn't go stop her friend. Nope, she didn't. She sat right there with the rest of the girls. You know who got up? Kathy got up and ran after Garcelle and was like, please stay. And Garcelle's like, I'm not trying to add to it. She's already hurt and emotional and stuff. I'm not trying to add to it. Lay it on even more. And Kathy's like, please just stay. Let's just stay and work this out. So Garcelle comes back to the couch. She goes over to Erica, gets on her knees. I'm like, girl, if you don't get off the floor, if you do not get off the floor, girl. She's like, Erica, I would never want to hurt you. And Erica's like, it's okay. It's okay. And they're hugging. It's just Sutton's in her confessional, she says, this reaction is a bit much. This is not about Garcelle. This is about much more. And obviously, because she said Tom still calls her. Yes, Erica, you got caught in your lie, but that was not the biggest hot mess of a lie that's out there, girl. So for you to flip out, Garcelle's you've shared so much, which she has. So me saying this, Garcelle's feeling me saying this should not put you over the edge. She didn't say that, but that's what she was thinking. What is going on? This, I could not be Garcelle. She's much better than me. I could not. So Erica decides to make her escape, and she says, I have some things to take care of back in LA, so I'm gonna go home. And they're like, oh, okay, so you're leaving now? And she's like, yeah, I'm going home. So she goes outside. Apparently she already had a car on its way. So you were already planning to leave. Okay. So she goes outside. Kyle, Dorit, and Lisa follow after her. Kathy disappears. I don't know where Kathy is. She's gone. And who's Garcelle and Crystal and Sutton are left. So the ladies with Erica, they're like, I'm so sorry that happened. And Lisa's like, we know that you're going to open up in your own time. So why push it? Why did she do that? And it's just Lisa, shut up with your big fat lips. Shut up. You have like selective amnesia. What was that, like what Teddy said? Pretend amnesia. Because last season, you and your little mean girl crew were all up in Denise's business about her personal sexual business. But we're here like today with Erica spilling the beans with these random stories about Tom. Garcelle asks one little question and she flips out. Miss me with this BS. Inside, Crystal's like, are you okay? And Garcelle's like, no. Crystal is crying. She's very emotional crying. At first I didn't know like why she was crying so hard. But I did see a deleted scene where they showed Crystal talking about how Erica shared about Tom's dementia. Like, a lot of us do not believe that he just randomly got dementia after that alleged car accident. But Erica's been telling Crystal that Tom had dementia from that car accident. And Crystal has a personal tie to dementia because her father dealt with that for years. So it's very personal and emotional for her. So she's crying. And like Sutton finally speaks up. She hasn't said a word this whole time. She finally speaks up and says, like, Garcelle, you did nothing wrong. You did nothing wrong. I was like, where was this before? Best friend? And they're trying to like calm it down. Garcelle is just like, well, it's interesting that we're in here and they're out there. The group is very divided. And Garcelle's felt this way for a while. And it's evident, like, there is a division. Either you're on Team Erica or you're not. Or you have questions. And so Erica's car gets there. I'm like, what did you call this car? Her car gets there. She leaves. And the rest of the ladies come inside. And Garcelle is just like, if you had told me that that was going to be the question that sent her over the edge, I would have never asked it. So then Lisa and her big lips are all of a sudden just pops in and is like, why did you feel like you had to ask that question? Girl, what? So Garcelle responds, well, she shared so much, so I thought like it was fine. She's been sharing so much. And then Dorit pops in with her selective amnesia and she says, well, she said she didn't want to talk about it. Girl, you were sitting right next to Crystal when Crystal said, no, Garcelle wasn't there when she said it. Just want to like pinch their faces. Can't stand them. Her, Dorit and Lisa, ooh. Sneaky little devils. Crystal and Garcelle leaves so they can go back to the hotel and get ready for dinner. Garcelle and Crystal are like waiting for their car, and Garcelle is just like, I just feel like nobody had my back, nobody was on my side. And Crystal's like, well, I don't know about sides because this situation's so complicated. And Garcelle's like, no one had my back. And I'm like, girl, does this kind of feel like, I don't know how Crystal felt when Sutton was jumping down her back and all of y'all agreed with Sutton and all of y'all were coming at Crystal and telling her how she should change her words and change how she felt. Does it feel kind of similar to that, Garcelle? I don't know. Maybe it might. Now you kind of see how it feels, right? To not have anybody on your side. Whatever. Meanwhile, Lisa inside is just like, if you already are asking questions, why keep asking questions? Lisa, you are the biggest hypocrite ever. This is all you did last season. And the season before that. And the season before that. And the season before that. All you do is ask questions. But now when it's your friend, whom you only known for 5 years, compared to Denise for what, over 20 years? And Garcelle for over 20 years? Okay. But when it's your friend of 5 years, now we can't ask any questions. Girl, bye. And then like, so they're mad at Garcelle for asking questions to Erica, but they have no problem talking about Erica behind her back and talking about her legal issues. And so Lisa asks another question about her legal issues. Dorit starts laying it down. I'm like, y'all have no problem talking behind her back, laying it all out, but we can't ask questions to her face and be real about it? Okay. So then they're like, let's just move on and figure out what we're going to eat for dinner. All of a sudden, Kathy pops back up. I was like, oh, where'd she come from? She has a Ruth Chris menu. Starts reading off. Kathy. So they're getting ready for dinner. Kathy is looking over Sutton's outfit and she's like, oh, it looks cute, but the necklace is a little daytime. Sutton is like, she's so bossy. And then they get out to the area. They're waiting for the rest of the ladies. Lisa Rinna can't make her own drink, so she's waiting for Crystal to come. Well, Dorit comes down the stairs in her fancy ass outfit, and Kathy shades her outfit too. She's like, "You're gonna waste that outfit on us girls in this house?" Like, which is true. Like, girl, like, that is an outfit for the town, and she's just like wasting it in the house with these ladies. But hey, if you want to. Sutton has the nerve to shade her outfit in the confessional, and I'm like, girl, just because you look halfway decent this time, you should never shade anyone's outfit ever, Sutton. Ever. Lisa is checking out Sutton's fancy Cartier bracelet. It's vintage Cartier. She asks her if it's real, and Sutton's like, of course it's real. And then in the confessional, the producers ask her how much it is, and they're like, you're not going to tell us. And she's like, no. Which I feel like it's hilarious how she's like Miss Manners some of the time. She's like, I guess it's like gauche to ask about how much her bracelet is, but she had no problem sharing a few episodes ago about how she threw a $30,000 party for the ladies. Just the ladies. Nobody else, just the ladies. So I'm like, girl, shut up. So they're sitting and having their drinks and talking about, like, has anybody spoken to Erica? Garcelle admits that she texted her, but she didn't hear anything back, and she said she's fine with that. And Kyle's just like, well, I mean, she's not going to be mean to you, but she's just not going to trust you ever again. And Garcelle's like, that's fine, I understand. In her confessional, she's just like, I didn't do anything wrong, so I didn't intend to hurt her. I was just asking questions because she was being so open. And then Lisa jumps in with her big lips and says, like, well, is there any part of it that you can own? And Crystal, we have the same face. Crystal's like, like, own what? Like, what did she do? Crystal, me and Crystal were here. Crystal's like, are you kidding me? And Crystal's like, no, like, I did not, like, intentionally try to hurt her. And then Dorit, with her dodo brain, jumps in and is like, well, maybe not intentionally, but you were needling it a little bit. And Crystal's like, no, absolutely not. I'm not trying to kick her while she's down. That is not me. I did not intend to hurt her. I just asked her a question. Grief. So in Lisa's confessional, she's saying, like, Garcelle has a tendency to poke or throw darts at people, and we see, like, the few times where she came at Lisa. I mean, because Lisa was being a little snot to Denise, so I don't blame her. Even last season, but then, like, Garcelle's like, the fact that, like, Lisa's questioning me, like, about me asking questions, when all last season she was running our friend up and down the street, like, ripping her to shreds, asking her all horrible questions and trying to get into her personal life. And we see, like, the shady editors came right back at Lisa and showed all the, like, mean stuff that she was saying about Denise. They should have showed everything, because it wasn't just Denise, it's been a whole lot of other people too that Lisa has been horrible to and all up in their business too. They didn't show all of it. They should have. So Garcelle in her confessional is like, Lisa can take her ownness and shove it. And I agree. So Garcelle's like, I feel like you feel like I should own some part of it, to Lisa. And Lisa's like, I try to, like, make me understand what happened. And Garcelle's like, I wish, like, I had been told not to say anything, because I wouldn't have. I overstepped. And then Lisa's like, yes, good, that's it. She wanted her to say something, like, bring her down. And I'm like, no. But in her confessionals, like, I just said it so she would shut up. And I don't blame her, girl. Like, shut up, Lisa. Shut up. You are not the moral authority over anything. Stop it. So they're sitting down to eat, and then Lisa, with her big lips, is like, let's play a game. I'm like, oh God. We see a montage of all the failed game nights. The one where Sutton made Teddy cry. The one where Kim had taken something, allegedly, and went off on Lisa and Eileen. And then that same night, Brandy and Kyle fought. It's just, like, been, like, horrible game nights. And I'm just like, this is not going to be good at all. So then Kyle brings up the game from the other night, and when she brought up Confucius, and then everybody thought she was being racist, but she's like, no, Crystal is related to Confucius. And then Kyle's like, well, she was talking to Garcelle, and she was like, that's so funny that they thought it was like a racist joke. And then Kathy jumps in and she points to Crystal and she's like, I heard that you have a problem with people saying, I don't see color. I'm like, here we go. Here we go. So then Kathy brings up her one black friend, Michael Jackson, and says that she had a conversation with him and how he said he doesn't see color. And so she said, well, I don't see color either. I'm like, girl, you were talking to a black man with self-identity issues about seeing color and about race. No. No. And it doesn't matter if your one black friend said they don't see color. That's not the same. Stop it. So Garcelle is like, no. Like, even though you say you don't see color, I need you to see me. I'm a black woman. You see my blackness before you see anything else, before you hear me speak, before you know who I am, you see that I'm black. So I need you to see me. This I don't see color stuff is outdated. Just stop. So then Kyle's like, well, she's saying it as to me, she feels like we're all equal. Garcelle's like, we're not. Kathy's like, well, I feel like we're all equal. Girl, no, you don't. You do not feel like we were all equal. Stop it. You grew up probably like around the same time my mom grew up. You know, Jim Crow. Did you forget about that? You're not that young, Kathy. You were very much alive during that time. Stop it. And stop all of it. All of y'all. Your parents, stop it. You know we are not all equal. You know we are not treated the same. You know we have never been treated the same. My mother went to a segregated school and a desegregated school. Stop it. Stop. You know we are not equal. Stop it. Like, this stuff like pisses me off when how people try to act ignorant about it. Yes, it's fine if you feel like you want us to be all equal, but we're not. And stop pretending like you don't know what racism is. You're white. Give me a break. I'm not as old as you and I know what racism is. Stop it. So Garcelle's like, no. And then like Kathy's like, well, why aren't we all equal? Girl, you know why we aren't all equal. You're asking the black woman why we're not all equal? Kathy, stop it. This is how I know that you are putting on when you do the silly Kathy thing. No. Stop it. You and Dorit jumping in and is like, well, we should be treated equal. Thankfully, Crystal's like, we're not talking about how we should be treated. We're talking about reality. Come on, let's, like, yes, of course, we all feel like we should all be treated equally, but that's not how it is. Stop playing this dumb, I don't know what's going on game. Stop it. I'm tired of this. Not just from them, from everyone. Let's stop pretending that racism doesn't exist. It does. It still does. It always has. Stop it. So Garcelle has to break it down for them. She says, has anybody at this table had to have a conversation with their children about what to do when a police officer pulls you over? None of them have. And that's just one instance. So then you clearly know that we are not all treated equal. Stop playing dumb. Kyle seems to be understanding, and she's just like, I have never walked in Garcelle's shoes, so I don't know what that's all about. Dorit, she's like, well, I grew up in like a very, like open household, and we treated everyone equal. We never had to like worry about that. And Garcelle's like, just because you didn't have to deal with it doesn't mean I didn't. So then Dorit gets a defensive, oh, of course not. That's not at all what I'm saying. Girl, shut up. Crystal explains her story. She's like, I grew up, dealing with racism, but my family, since we were Asian, we were told to like just keep our head down and not like speak up for ourselves, not fight about it, just keep our head down and like try to get away from the situation. And I'm glad she's sharing her story. I'm glad she's like in her confessional, she's like, it's so important to talk about race. It really is. You need to learn about these experiences. Just because you've never had to deal with it in your bubble doesn't mean that it's not going on, that people are not dealing with this every day. And it's so important to have these conversations. It just really is. So then Kathy brings up like talking to little kids about racism, how you shouldn't have to, like, I don't want to sit down and talk to little kids about racism, and Garcelle's just like, I would if the child was black. Like, and in her confessional is she's like, it's a privilege to not have to talk to your children about racism. Like, it is. And to not have to worry them about this stuff. But we have to, as black people, we have to. I was very little when I experienced racism for the very first time. Very little. In elementary school. You have to talk to your kids about this. The fact that, like, they can just la 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 and not have to worry about it. Like, it must be so nice. So then Dorit, she talks to her kids about, like, race not being an issue. And she says, I have a lot of people who work for me. Black, Hispanic, Filipino, and my kids, you know, see them every day and interact with them every day. Kyle gives Garcelle a look like, they both look at each other like, where is this chick going with this? And she says that some of their favorite people are dark skinned. Garcelle is like, well, are the only brown people that work for you the help? And Dorit's like, of course not. Like, why would you even say that? She's like, and first of all, like, my mom's best friend is black. Garcelle's like, awesome. Oh my God. Dorit doesn't even have a black friend of her own. She has to pull, like, reach way back. My mom's best friend is a black. Here you go. Here she is. That's my black friend quota by way of. And then she gets mad in her confessional talking about Garcelle's been to my house. She should know. Well, she should know what? You said the people that work for you. You didn't say my friends are of all races, ethnicities, skin color. You didn't say that. You said the people who work for me. And we've only seen Garcelle as the black person at your house. And your business partner for Beverly Beach, who we no longer see. Maybe that's the one you're having alleged financial issues with. But he was like the only other black person that we've seen at your house. So girls, bye and stop it. She called you out. She showed your card. And now you don't know what to do. So that game quickly ends. And then Kyle asks everyone to just, if they can, bring their dish inside, rinse it off, and put it in the dishwasher. Which is fine. Dorit's like, but can you get some help when we come on vacation? Which, even though I don't like Dorit right now, and I'm probably not going to ever like her again, I didn't like her ass before. I was trying to give her a chance. Kind of last season and kind of this season, but it's done. Done with her. But she's like, I kind of agree, like, hey, I'm on vacation. I don't really want to do any dishes, but it's like one dish, Dorit. It's one dish. Pick it up, rinse it off, put it in the dishwasher, shut your mouth. So the night's over. Garcelle and Crystal leave. The rest of the ladies are chilling. They're talking about how much they miss Erica, blah, blah, blah. Then Kyle brings up the fact that Harry has acrylic nails. Lisa gives us a story that he doesn't like to use a pick, so he has acrylic nails. I'm like, is this the thing that Kim was talking about? Like, you don't want to talk about the husband? Like, just like, where did these acrylic nails come from? But all right. I mean, to each their own. So it's the next day. The LA Times article drops. Exposes everything. I really hope that the documentary drops. The Hustler and the Housewife documentary. I hope that drops, like, while they filmed. Because I really want to see them talk about that as well. Because, girl. My God. So, Garcelle and Crystal are talking about it at the hotel, and Garcelle kind of, finally realizes, oh, so she got the heads up. That's why she busted out of here, and she just took out her anger out on me because it was the last straw for her. We know why she fled the scene, because she got a heads up about this article dropping, and that's why she left. We get it, girl. And now Garcelle kind of feels like vindicated, like, I didn't do nothing to that woman. No. So the rest of the ladies are talking about it. They're too lazy to read the whole article. Sutton comes down. She's read the whole article. She talks about all of it. They talk about it's being considered a Ponzi scheme, burn victims, orphans and widows, cancer patients, women who got cancer from the hormone treatments. Like, it's just a lot. Lisa starts asking about, like, Ruth, because they bring up Madoff and ask if Ruth Madoff was implicated in any of this, trying to see if Erica's going to be implicated. And Sutton says no, but she says there's a $20 million situation going on because Erica's company, EJ Global, received $20 million from Tom, allegedly, and funded into her business, so she could be held liable. They're just like, what is going on? They start laying it all out. See, again, they're talking behind her back, talking about all of this, but it wasn't okay for Garcelle to bring it up to her face. But they're talking about all of this, and like, what's going to happen with Erica? They're all like confused and shocked. They're finally catching up to where we are. Because, girl, like, we've been waiting for them to talk about this, but it had not dropped yet. Now it's officially dropped, and Sutton is on the case. I have never seen her so clear and focused the whole 2 seasons she's been on. Like, at all. She is very Inspector Gadget, ready to take the case. So Kyle's throwing shade in her confessionals. Like, all of a sudden, Kyle's acting a little shady towards Erica, not so supportive. Lisa is defend. She's like, I don't think Erica knew anything. Sutton in her confessional is like, girl, we are all wealthy women with LLCs. If the devil himself put money in your LLC, you're responsible for it. And Sutton's telling the women, like, I feel like we're being duped. And Dorit's like, well, I don't know. It feels like kind of unfair because, like, you've known her for 6 years. I've known her for 5 years. You've known her for 6 years. Going around the room, and Kathy, without even being prompted, is like, I don't know her. She's like, don't bring me in this. And on camera, I don't know her. I'm not involved in this. No, I don't know this woman. I just met her today. What are you talking about? She's like, I'm not being held. You're not dragging me into court over this woman. I don't know her. So they all get home. Sutton says she's read the article a few more times, and she wants to have a sit down with the ladies at Dorit's house. Not at her own house, which is Kyle's old house, but at Dorit's house. So they set it up. The ladies get there except for Sutton, so the rest of the ladies get there. I don't like Dorit's eye makeup. Not even the fact because I don't like her. It's just like, I don't understand this. Like, it's all the way back. I love Crystal's cute jacket. I don't know if I necessarily like the full outfit, but the jacket is very cute. And then they sit down and start talking about, Kyle brings up the fact that Erica leaked Tom's mistress, like leaked pictures of Tom and his mistress, alleged mistress. And Garcelle gets there, and Kyle's like, did you see the pictures that Erica posted? And Garcelle's like, no. And Kyle's like, well, let me show you. She's so messy. She's so messy. Don't you just love how they're all talking behind Erica's back about the messiness? But it's not okay for them to bring it up to her face. Still, again, how many times do I have to say it? They're all so messy. So they're just talking about how messy it was. Lisa said she spoke to her, and Erica's lawyer told her to take it down, so she took it down. Garcelle says Erica lied because she told me she didn't know about any third party, but now she's leaking the mistress and saying that she knew the whole time. Come on now. So it's lies upon lies. Sutton gets there, and immediately she's like, let's get this party started. She goes right in. So Sutton's like, I have questions. I feel like after La Quinta, I feel like stuff went down in La Quinta that is not making sense. When I got home, I read the article a few more times. I'm having some questions. I don't know what's going on with Erica. I feel like she's lying. I don't know if I want to be around my friend during this time. And everybody's just like, and that's how it ends. Girl, it is getting so good. Like, so good. I have been enjoying this whole season, even with like the Sutton and Crystal mess. I feel like Sutton and Crystal carried the first half of the season because really the ladies had nothing going on. We hadn't gotten to the Erica mess yet. And now I feel like Erica's stuff has come out, and now Erica's story is going to carry the rest of the way. And we've been waiting for it, so lay it on us. It is so good. This episode is so good. You know I am not a fan of Sutton, but she's bringing it. Can't deny it. She's bringing it. Let me know what you thought of this episode in the comments below. I will be getting on to the next episode. I promise. I will get it out. I'm catching up. I'll make sure I do it. But please, please, please like this video. Subscribe. Comment. It really, really helps this channel. And I really appreciate all of you who do like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. But until next time, stay safe everyone, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.